This video provides an overview of the data quality features within clearMDM version 2. Start the demonstration here within our Salesforce environment. Here we can see on an accounts list view we have some quality related fields using image assets to present a visual indicator of the quality status of the record. So if we open up one of our person accounts here, we can take a look at the quality related information we have here. So we can see we're calculating currently an address quality score and an overall quality score. And we have some translations there into a quality text field that we could find useful in our reporting. We also have some image assets that are very useful in terms of providing convenient visual clues in terms of the data quality. So if we move across to the configuration side of things, here we can see how quality scoring takes place and how quality actions can be configured that provide behavior and provide actions that are driven by the quality calculations. So let's start with a quality rule set that has been defined for the person account address. So here we can see we're able to provide a custom name for the rule set. We provide an order also. Rules are evaluated in strict order, which allows us to build dependencies between rule sets. You can see there, of course, that a rule is tied to a particular object and can be evaluated either in real time, as and when changes are applied to the records, or can be evaluated in batch fashion. So this is where we're able to run a periodic batch job that is performing quality evaluation. So the rules themselves, the rule set itself is comprised of rules. So those quality rules can be of the types that we see here. So we can define rules related to whether fields are populated, whether they are a particular length. Where we have date fields, we can set an offset that we're interested in. We have number ranges, particular strict formats that we're checking for. Do we have a valid E164 format for our mobile or our phone number fields? Is the email address field or multiple address fields, do they adhere to a valid email format as per the Salesforce guidance around email validation, exact matches and contains and so forth. So for each of the rules, we can pick the field that we're interested in and provide a score value. So when the rule set is evaluated, the rule type is applied to the field that's referenced, and we are calculating an overall score value for the rule set. The second type of rule relates to our ability to check the existence of related records. So for example, we may wish to assign a score value based on the existence of active cases within that are related to the record. So we can pick any child relationship and that is significant to the quality of the parent record, and we can add score values into the calculation there. The other type of reference rule we have is the reference compliance rule. So this is where we can pick a custom setting. So here we have corporate categories. This could be part of our governance strategy, our governance policy around data quality, and it may be, we're checking particular attributes of the record against that list of valid values, and again assigning scoring based upon whether or not we're compliant with the valid set of values. So rule calculation takes place in order. We look at the standard quality rules, we look at the reference rules, an overall score is calculated for the record. Once we have that score, we're then able to take action and define behavior that takes place. So from here, we're moving into data quality actions. So we have two types. We have a standard action, which can either be used to populate a field with either the calculated score value, which is what we're doing here. We're taking the rule set score and we're passing it into the address quality score field if the scoring is between the defined range. The other things we could do here is we could do another field update that is setting a field-to-field relationship if the score was a different range potentially, or the same range, or indeed we can use a literal value. So we could type in, well, maybe not facts, but maybe we'd put into the description you know, some kind of quality related literal value there. So we've got a huge amount of flexibility in terms of how that field update is working. It can either pass across the score value, it can do a field-to-field copy, or it can do a setting of a static literal value there. And that works for the date fields, it works for Boolean fields, it works for text fields, and so on and so forth. The second type of standard action we can take there is post to chatter, and this allows us to post a note to the chatter feed for the record, which mentions the last user who modified that record, and allows us to keep track of when quality changes are taking place and apply notifications there also. Another type of action is our block actions. That relates to preventative behavior. So this is where we can block the creation of records where the calculated score value is potentially within a low threshold. So, maybe a 5 to 7 range potentially. We'd like to stop the record being created in the first place if it doesn't meet our data quality guidelines. The second thing we can do is block updates. And if we're blocking updates, then we can make reference to an existing score. And in this scenario, we're saying if the quality score has degraded by the current update taking place, then we can stop that update. So we have the means to apply preventative behavior here and preventative actions that stop changes taking place where the quality of the record is being degraded. When we look at the field updates that are defined as a standard action here, this is where we can do things like corrective actions as well, where if quality changes are taking place, then we can update fields and we can make data changes based upon the quality attributes of the record. So I'll cancel that particular set of changes there. If we open up a second, so we look at the order there, for person account we have a second rule that's defining the overall quality score. Here we're actually making reference to the address quality score. So this shows how we're able to calculate a score from one rule set and then make reference to that score in a second rule set. So here we're saying for the overall quality of the person account, if its address is within a particular, if its address quality score rather is within a particular range, we can start adding values to the overall quality score for that record. And in this case here we can see the E164 format rule type and also the email format rule type. So what I'm going to do here is make a quick change by adding in the birth date, and we'll give that a 4 score. So let's save this rule set, and then we'll show how this actually takes effect on a given record. So if we open up a person account, we can see here that the current quality status is amber in terms of the image we're displaying, and we can see a 6 value for the quality score that's calculated there. So I add a birth date in for this particular account just to populate that particular field and give us let me try that again. We'll save that change. The actual value doesn't matter too much. What we should see now is, yes, we can see the quality status has changed, the quality score is recalculated, and we can see there that the image is updated appropriately. So this shows the real-time behavior where we're able to take actions as and when records are changing. We can update the quality status and keep track of how well our records are are doing in respect to the quality characteristics. So where we have, for example, time-based conditions where we may want to reevaluate records that haven't changed simply because time is moving forward and there's something temporal about the attributes of that record that we want to take action upon. For example, if we have a date of birth field and maybe a date of consent or an age of consent field that we want to update as and when an individual reaches 18 or 16 or 21, whatever that might be, then we can use the batch activity to periodically evaluate the record and say, well, is the date offset now suggesting that the person has reached the threshold we're interested in? And if so, we can flip the age of consent, or we can flip the related flag appropriately to update that record. So we have a number of different ways in which quality can be reassessed and behavior can be defined based upon the quality rules. This concludes the overview of the data quality related features of clearMDM version 2. We have further information available on the website at www.clearmdm.com, or you can reach us on Twitter at clearmdm, or via email at hello@clearmdm.com. Thank you very much for watching.